On behalf of all Jamaicans, I just want to say thank you to the world for helping us to build our country. Jiggy and march. But we dance with it now. Come make we march, all Jamaicans. We are one big family. Time come for deliverance. So make we march in unity. Whether PNP or labor rights, our God loves all of we. We are marching on to progress. Jam down and feel all we. Everything that is a broke down. We are gonna build back. We are gonna build back better than before. Every house we broke down. We are gonna build back. Cause our God have blessings in store. Time come to rebuild together. Cause Jamaica is our home. We are stepping out the darkness into the light. We're gonna build stronger roofs and doors.
Those are some of the decisions coming.
Well, go along. I'm not give me a little second there. I kind of run behind time a little bit. So I go I pull up the channel if you not hear me. I don't think it gone live yet, but I go pull up here, you know. You know gone live yet, we still a wait for it. Alright. Big up on yourself, you know. Let me see if I can pull up here, you know. Alright, we'll go over NN until it start. But we are gonna watch it. That's something, so. In. Nation. Wine. News. Sure. Alright. YouTube, I forget it. Alright, don't be with me. May I come? I'm kind of score in it to, you know, to see if I see it come up nowhere else, but like a one place it all come. Alright, take down this. That and add this one. I'll add the one of my paper. Now give me a second. Let's listen to Cliff Hughes in the meantime. Tyrone.
The murder of his wife on January 27, 2024. The Court Administration Division declared that judges do have authority to restrict media access to certain court matters. It was noted that the indictment against the former Western St. Mary MP was proffered in the Circuit Court Division of the Gun Court, and count one charges Mr. Severe with using a firearm to commit a felony contrary to Section 14, subsection 2 of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction, and Regulation Act. This section is in Part 2 of the Act. It has been further noted that the offenses under Part 2 are firearm offenses under the Gun Court Act. Therefore, the Gun Court Act provisions apply. As a justification of Justice Vinette Graham Allen's decision on Section 13, subsection 1 of the Gun Court Act was highlighted, which states, in the interest of public safety or public order, no person shall be present at any sitting of the court except members and officers of the court and any constable or other security personnel required by the court, parties to the case before the court, their attorneys and witnesses giving or having given their evidence, and other persons directly concerned with the case, such other persons as the court may specifically authorize to be present. And of course, there are some who argue that the media could have been allowed under that clause. We have more updates coming for you, so we pause the timeline once again to give you the updates. Mitigating factors again being presented. Admission of guilt. Some say it was belated, but juxtapose it with the statement he gave. He pondered and determined that it would be far more egregious for the children to lose their mother and also their father. He determined that he would try as best as he could to remain around them. This is what is being presented to the court as mitigating factors. Clear responsibility in terms of acceptance, no pattern of offending, and that Severe has expressed remorse for his actions. There is recognition of the consequences of his actions as it relates to the impact on his children. It was not premeditated. The court is being told as mitigating factors are being presented to Chief Justice Brian Sykes before he hands down his sentence to former Member of Parliament for Western St. Mary, Julian Silvera. We are awaiting the live stream. The witnesses will not, the evidence being presented or the testimony being given by the witnesses will not be streamed as a part of today's proceedings. Yeah, but we can tell you, and I told you I wanted to, Nora, if you could you print this this CAD release for me? I'd love to read it for the listeners and viewers. If you could print it for me. Right, thank you so much, Nora. So we can get to you what the CAD has told us in their release issued last evening, and we'll keep you up to date on that. But we are waiting to join live. Yeah, the sentencing of former PNP Member of Parliament, Julian Silvera. Of course, on January 27, if we are to continue our timeline, on January 27, and let me just check to ensure that we have no additional updates coming in from our Ace Court reporter, Rubian Williams, who is covering the sentencing for us. Yes, so that is the latest. Here is my super producer with the statement from the Court Administration Division. Thank you, Lady Nora. It says, sentencing hearing in the matter of Regina versus Julian Silvera. The Judiciary of Jamaica was advising that, of course, it will be live streaming the sentencing. Presiding Oh, it's Rex, pardon me. Yes, because it's now a king. You know, we shouldn't even be remembering these things, you know. We should need to be remembering these things if we get rid of the monarchy. Yeah. But let's get it right. It's Rex now and not Regina anymore. Yes. Now the presiding judge is the Honorable Mr. Justice Brian Sykes, and the statement from the Court Administration Division reads: the Court Administration Division is advising members of the media that the sentencing hearing for Julian Silveira will take place on Friday, March 6, 2026. That's the day before Chief Justice Brian Sykes in Courtroom 1 at the Supreme Court. Members of the media are encouraged to attend the proceedings in person. Due to limited seating within the courtroom, all media personnel must be seated by 9:30 a.m. to facilitate the orderly commencement of the hearing. Live streaming arrangements. The proceedings will be live streamed on the Judiciary of Jamaica's official YouTube channel, of course. Stick and stay with us right here on Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 because we'll be bringing that feed to you once it goes live. Please note, says the Court Administration Division, that the opening segments of the hearing will not be live streamed, as it will include statements from witnesses. The live stream will begin when the sentencing remarks commence before the Chief Justice. And the guidelines being provided to media personnel: media representatives must present valid press credentials. Courtroom decorum must be strictly observed. Photography and video recording are not permitted inside the courtroom. Electronic devices must be placed on silent mode while court is in session, and members of the media are asked to cooperate with court staff and adhere to all court protocols. Of course, just to read that line for you again, please note that the opening segments of the hearing will not be live streamed, as it will include statements from witnesses. The live stream will begin when the sentencing remarks commence before the Chief Justice. So we are standing by to go live to the Supreme Court, where former PNP MP Julian Silveira is being sentenced. He was charged with murder. He then subsequently pled guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter, and of course there is the charge of manslaughter and of course using a firearm to commit that offense. He pled guilty to those two offenses, and we are awaiting the live stream. We are up on our next break right here on Cliff Hughes Online, where we're going to keep following this one for you until the country's Chief Justice Brian Sykes delivers his sentencing of former PNP Member of Parliament Julian Silveira. We take a break right here and come back with more.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
10:45.
If you love the vibes, the laughs, and the real talk, then you're one of us. Don't just listen, belong. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon.
So Nationwide come back, my people. Well, I'm in my pause. So. Yeah, when Nationwide come back, we jump back on. You know, I put out a poll on Facebook. Let me check it. Where it go on with. See, let me see what people must say. You know, in the meantime. So we got 24 comments thus far. Somebody say, I think he may get 35 years due to the gun charge. Less the discount, 30 years. Somebody say if you get life without parole. But I did put in there 3 different sentences, my people. So far, it seems as if 20 years is winning. So Elaine McClarity say 20 years. Noel say 20 years. Robert say 30. Maureen say 20. Samala say life. Caitlin say he should get 10 years for each shot. So 30 years to life. Somebody UN say if you get life or lethal injection. Carlton say if you get Carlton say we're number 5. Somebody say put on 100 pound the 20 there for me. Somebody say at least 20 years, taking the nature of the killing and the planning behind it. Somebody said the maximum short. Christine said the maximum. Max said 50 years without parole. Barry said death penalty, premeditated. Somebody said no opinion there for me to choose from. No option, there for me to choose from. Life, no joke about it. He was a lawmaker, he broke it. Somebody else say he forget 20 years. And another person say if you get 45 years, my people. But me say, that night I said 20 year max. Shania say 40 years. I believe he will get something like 15 years. Minus the 2 that is already started, that he already served, my people. So I believe he will get 15 years minus the 2 that he already served. And he will do 13 years. He gets 13 years and he'll do probably about 6.5, 7 years and go home. What do you think? By the way, I put the link in the comments. So, if anybody want to join the panel, while it is going on, feel free to do so. Big up in Karine. If you get a good sentence, we are going to bex. I can tell you right now. I am monitoring the channel, my people, to see what I go along.
Wife, Melissa Silvera, and of course he pled guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter, and that was accepted by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and then by the court. And the court announced via the Chief Justice that the sentencing will be live streamed. Of course, the media and the general public were barred from what was supposed to be a murder trial. We were barred from seeing what was taking place. The gun court provisions of the law were stated, but there are legal minds who say, look, those gun court provisions should not apply to the use to cases involving licensed firearm holders. That's not what the framers of the legislation initially envisioned when framing that piece of legislation. But the legal minds are arguing over that one. But the Chief Justice has taken the decision to live stream the sentencing. But we are also now told by the Court Administration Division that the witness statements that will be made ahead of the Chief Justice delivering his sentence to Julian Silvera, that will not be a part of the package that will be live streaming. We've been trying to provide for you a timeline starting from when we first heard news that the Melissa Silvera had died. That was November 10, 2023. Of course, the initial reports that emerged was that she died in her sleep. We've gotten down to 2024, and there's another one. I'm jumping over some of it here, but on January 30, 2024, Nationwide News reported that it understood that investigators probing the murder of Melissa Silvera had turned their attention to the role allegedly played by two of Silvera's close associates. It was our reporting at that time that it was understood that those two associates visited the crime scene shortly after the murder. That was our reportage at the time. Our sources had told us that the investigators have collected evidence that was suggesting the two associates helped to clean up the room after Mrs. Silvera was killed. It's understood, reported at that time, that the associates also reportedly funded the purchase of building material to renovate the room in which Melissa was murdered. And of course, that is, it is a fact that we now know that the renovation works were in fact carried out at the property. Yes, renovation works were in fact carried out at the property. As to who funded that, we reported what our sources advised us on April 11, 2024, as we continue with the timeline in the murder, in the killing of Melissa Silvera. Bail was denied for the first time on April 11, 2024. Murder accused Julian Silvera remained in custody until May 2, was what we reported then. His bail application hearing was again postponed when the matter came up in the gun court in downtown Kingston. Silvera was and is still being represented by King's Counsel Peter Champagny and Patrice Riley. When asked about his client's well-being, here's what KC Champagny had to say at that time.
Under the circumstances, he is, as one would expect, very concerned, very apprehensive, very anxious. His position is consistent in terms of his honesty and his innocence, but under the circumstances, he appreciates the position and why it was adjourned until the next date.
The voice there of King's Counsel Peter Champagny, the attorney representing the embattled former MP Julian Silvera. He was speaking to journalists outside the court after the hearing on that day. Now, on February 19, 2025, a trial date of January 13, 2026 was set for the former West St. Mary MP. And of course, the charge of murder still stood at that time. Silvera was again remanded when he appeared in the gun court in downtown Kingston on that Wednesday. His attorneys had advised that they plan to file an appeal against the decision to not grant him bail. They didn't at that time obtain a date for the appeal hearing. On June 3, 2025, bail denied again. The Court of Appeal was upheld a Supreme Court ruling denying bail to the former West St. Mary MP, and the ruling was handed down during a video conferencing hearing. January 12, 2026, as we continue along the timeline, the trial was postponed. The high-profile murder trial, as it was at that time, of the former parliamentarian was postponed to February 2. The matter was originally scheduled to start Monday, which is January 12, in the gun court in Kingston. But the start was postponed following an application by the defense for an independent examination of key ballistic evidence. Very important that we remember that, yes? Of course, so it was postponed following an application by the defense for an independent examination of key ballistic evidence. On February 2, 2026, Nationwide News reported that the former MP for West St. Mary changed his initial not guilty plea after investigators discovered forensic evidence conclusively linking the bullet that allegedly killed his wife to a gun registered to him. The police theorized that Melissa Silvera was murdered in the couple's home in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, and did not die in her sleep as initially reported. Now, George Davis had the latest on the case at that time that gripped national attention. Here's a report from Sir George.
Nationwide News understands that as per protocol, the country's firearm licensing authority, FLA, keeps a bullet that is fired from the gun of each licensed firearm holder. The bullet contains unique marks which corresponded to the firearm issued to each firearm holder. Those unique indentations on the bullet are referred to as bullet striation marks or simply a ballistic fingerprint. Nationwide News understands that Julian Silvera was arrested after his wife's funeral. This after he had initially led family and friends to believe their loved one had died in his sleep. He was taken into custody after an autopsy was performed on Melissa Silvera and a bullet retrieved from her body. Our sources say the suspicions of investigators were initially aroused based on the awkward positioning of Melissa's body at the crime scene. It's understood the position of her body brought into question the explanation that she died peacefully in her sleep. It's also understood she was not shot in the vagina, as was initially widely circulated online. From Melissa's body had the same unique striation marks which 100%
I come up on the phone, my people, because I can't get a laptop I misbehave itself. So I see if I can come back on the phone. You not hear me? All right, I'm see if I can get you up on the phone. It's instead. Big up, you know. Belarus. I don't know if you use it on the phone, you know. I may try a thing. I try to get up the link.
Murder, manslaughter, and using a firearm to commit an offense. He pleaded guilty to the two lesser charges earlier this week after initially pleading not guilty. As part of a proposed plea deal, Silvera reportedly admitted that on November 10, 2023, he shot his wife Melissa during a domestic dispute. He reportedly said that on the fateful night, he and his wife engaged in a heated argument where, among other things, she blamed him for the death of their son Justin in August 2017. The body of Justin, who was only a year old, was found floating in the pool, while both Silvera and the household helper were at home. Our sources say Silvera spoke of a torrent of verbal abuse from Melissa on that night, during which the former member of parliament snapped and engaged in a tussle with his wife. Melissa was reportedly shot during the tussle. It's understood she was shot 3 times. Melissa Silvera was found dead at the couple's home in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. Early reports suggested that the 42-year-old died in her sleep from natural causes. Silvera reportedly told family members and friends a combination of stories about how Melissa died. One was that she died of a suspected aneurysm. Another one was that she fell while taking a shower and hit her head. A post-mortem examination revealed that she died from gunshot wounds. With the conviction, the former MP, who won the Western St. Mary's seat for the PNP in the 2011 general election, faces several years in prison. Manslaughter carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. The firearms charge, meanwhile, attracts a maximum of 25 years. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Thank you for that report there, Mahiri. Appreciate it. Now, on February 6, 2026, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions made public the reasons it decided to accept the manslaughter plea in the case of the former Member of Parliament. Now, Mahiri Stewart has that report detailing why the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions accepted this guilty plea to the lesser offense of manslaughter when the trial began, that week when the trial was set to begin in the gun court. Here's Mahir Stewart with this report.
The court accepted Silvera's guilty plea on Thursday. This followed acceptance by the prosecution. In a press release following the verdict, the DPP's office listed 5 reasons it took the decision. First, it says the prosecution had no evidence of what occurred at the Silvera residence when the deceased was shot and killed. Second, it says having heard Silvera's account claiming provocation, the prosecution would not have been able to evidentially negate that partial defense. Third, the DPP's office says in light of Silvera's partial defense of provocation, the court would have a duty to direct the jury on that defense and the effect it would have on the count of murder, that is to reduce it to manslaughter. At number 4, the prosecution cited case law showing precedents that where the defendant gives an account on a guilty plea that supports the offense, the court can properly accept the plea. The 5th reason preferred by the DPP was also based on case law. It cited a 1988 case dealing with the fact that a judge in a sentencing hearing should sentence the convict on the facts most favorable to the convict. The DPP argues that although Silvera's case was not at that point dealing with sentencing, the principle was applicable in that neither the prosecution nor the court could ignore the version given by Silvera, especially in circumstances where the prosecution could not disprove the account given by him. The prosecution was represented by Assistant Directors of Public Prosecutions, Dwayne Green and Deborah Bryan. Silvera was represented by Peter Champagny KC and Patrice Riley. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Thank you very much for that report there, Mahiri. Also, another live update coming to us from our Ace Court reporter, Rubian Williams. She says Silvera is sitting in the dock, listening intently and listening to his attorney plead his case, stone-faced, looking straight ahead, fingers interlocked. At one point, he was seen shaking one of his legs, says our reporter Rubian. Not missing a beat there, yeah? And keep those live descriptive comments coming to us here as we try to keep the nation informed. Let's turn our attention now. We're going to start taking some calls because we'd love to hear from you concerning what kind of sentence do you think the Chief Justice should hand, because he was charged with manslaughter. Yes, right in the background there. Can't get enough of the station card. Are you there with us? All right, top of the morning to you, Alric. We'll try to sort out the line with Carl there. Alric, top of the morning to you. You're up next.
Top of the morning to you, sir. Anglia Banga.
Anglia Banga, Alric. How are things? What's on your mind regarding the case here?
Waiting
what
for this verdict to be handed down.
Yes.
I just listened to the caller previously. And we have to acknowledge the fact, whether you as a journalist want to acknowledge it or not, you know, but justice in this country happens to 2 different set of people. And we know if me Alric did kill my wife and do what is alleged that this gentleman did, me not think me could have get a lawyer and would have enough money to get a top-notch lawyer to get me to plead that way. And as a matter of fact, I don't think the Director of Public Prosecution would accept that plea. I would be sent up the creek. So this is a very interesting case. I am really, really tuning to the radio. I'm not leaving my house until this verdict is handed down to this, because this verdict is once and for all going to let all Jamaica know that there are either one justice for everybody or one justice for the rich and one justice for the poor in this country.
Well, more or none. Thank you for the thank you for the call, Master Alric, and keep it glued to Nationwide. We'll bring the sentencing live to you.
I am glued to Nationwide, Tyrone.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sorry, give me the name again, Studio. Annette, top of the morning to you, Lady Annette. What's on your mind this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Tyrone. I did call yesterday about a person who rent my apartment.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes.
Did you get through to the rent board and advise them of your circumstance?
Yes, I did. The person who I spoke to, a gentleman, he was very helpful.
Wonderful.
Different from the other two that I spoke to before.
All right.
He took my name, telephone number, the person who rent the place, telephone number, and everything like that. And he got in touch with the person. So he called me back and told me that the person said that next week he'll send something to my account for me. So I'm just hoping and looking out and see whether that will happen.
So are you okay with them staying if they pay up?
No, I'm not okay, but the notice one serve as it for them to leave and the place lock up for let me tell you, since the hurricane in October 2028, it's about 2 times I saw one gentleman come and stay there for 2 days or 3 days. So they lock up the place, true that the windows are mildew in his white, and the pure mildew cover
There must be something that you can do, though, in the interim. He owes you back money. What did the person, the representative at the rent board say about the serving of the notice and having them removed from the property? Did he advise you on that?
Yes, he told me that I could put the notice, whether the idea or not, put the notice on it. And just like that.
Just hang the notice on the door.
Right, I don't have to hand it to them.
All right.
They're not there.
And then after you hang the notice on the door, how many days must elapse before you can take action? Did he explain that?
No, I didn't explain that.
All right.
Because I did have I did deal with a lawyer, and the lawyer gave me a letter to him and also the notice. So I also paid a bailiff to do that from last week yonder. So I'm not wondering whether the notice expire or what. I don't know.
Well, all right. You keep us posted. Keep us posted. Hopefully you'll get those funds, but please hang the notice today. And once you hang the notice, then we'll. Do you have the name of the person you spoke to at the
No, I don't remember the name.
All right. We're going to try and see if please keep us posted, and we're going to try to stay in touch with you. Please give your name to Lady Nora and your number. Give it to Lady Nora.
Okay.
And we're going to try and stay in touch with you and assist you through this, ma'am. All right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. All right. So that call there, of course, I think we're up on our next break. Are we? Yeah? All right. We're up on our next break. This is Cliff Hughes Online. It's the TJF edition of the program, of course.
So, guys, we continue to wait to hear the outcome. People are waiting, not only in Jamaica, but all over the diaspora to see what is happening. I can't believe that there was so much evidence against this brother. And, this is what money does. Money can buy out of things, my people. And if it was you or I am certain that we could not have, gotten this kind of easy go with the law. They would have dig left, right, and center, and then I'll find all I witness them. They'd have spend every dollar to make certain so we go to prison. You see me I say? So I don't believe that even till this day that the DPP or the deputy DPP or any of them, I don't believe that they did all that they could do to fight for justice for Melissa. And whatever happened today, depends on the amount of time that he gets, that will deem if justice was served today. And there's some persons that is saying that, no matter what happened today, justice was not done, It is funny how now that he has killed his wife, he's thinking about his children and concerned that they have lost their mother and, they should not lose their father too. But he should have been concerned about, the mother of his children, when him gone about him business and gone where he want to go, it is the mother that looks after the children, you know. And as a hardworking man, any hardworking man would want to know that the children are in the safety of their mother, so you can go out and go do what you want to do, so you can make ends meet for them. See? So I can stay from the outside and see all of the malice. I can stay from the outside and see the intent. I can stay from the outside and see the cover-up. I can stay from the outside and see all of the attempted cover-up. I can stay from the outside and see, you know, everything except that the DPP can't see it. It look like she blind, or whosoever she work with blind. It look like them blind. But if it was somebody else other than this person that was not politically involved or connected, you know, I am sure they would have pulled out all the stops that they could pull out to get justice for that victim. And it is, while we are waiting to see, it is a sad day, because, you know, these children today, whichever way you take it, you know, would have to face the reality that their father have murdered their mother. You know, people don't like when I use the term murder, but that is what happened. He murdered his wife, and I like he shot her in one of her foot them, and he catch her in one of her artery, and she bleed out and dead. He fired 3 shots in her. If that don't spell intent, I don't know what will. See? If that don't spell intent, I don't know what will. And we have been arguing this point. You know, people has come on this live saying that, you know, that is not how the law works, and then can prove this, and then can prove that. When a youth use knife and kill somebody, a gunman use knife and kill somebody, and when an ex-criminal then say, you know, sir, that the man they kill, that the man they, how they prove intent? Then they did it. Nobody then did it when time a killing happened. Same like we're gonna use the logic, say, we weren't in the bedroom when Jyland killing wife. You know, it was for the prosecutor to come and argue the case in front of the jury and paint the picture for the jury, because I see them send people to Jamaica a prison without a body and without hardly any evidence. Then use circumstantial evidence. If you look at the case of Noel Maitland, a circumstantial evidence then use and send him to prison. So where was there were physical evidence in the ballistics. There were physical evidence with the tampering with the crime scene. There were physical evidence with corrosion in a gun barrel. You know, physical evidence with them cleaning up the crime scene as well. See, there was so much evidence, and the prosecutor is saying that there were no, they don't have enough evidence basically. And that them are tell you, they might try to take the Jamaican people for idiot. That's all I can say, my people.
Time, Tyrone Reed, and we are awaiting the sentencing of former. We await to hear what that sentence to be handed down by the Chief Justice will be. We'll continue to try to bring you those portions of the proceedings that will not be live streamed. We're trying to give you a blow-by-blow commentary. We're being told that the prosecutor is now on the floor in the Supreme Court. And let me read for you what we're getting outside from our court reporter. It says here, prior to pleading guilty, consider that he knew this from the very moment he was placed before the court, is what our court reporter is telling us that the prosecutor is saying. And of course, 35 statements, including post-mortem, was disclosed. The defense all was already known to Silvera, but he pleaded guilty just before the trial. So I gather the prosecutor seems to be pushing back on this notion that Julian Silvera saved the court a lot of time, and this is Prosecutor Green. It was done in circumstances that he had in the first instance. Consider the timing of his action should reduce any discount. Take into consideration the overwhelming aggravating factors. The prosecutor is arguing the use of a licensed firearm. The offense took place in their bedroom and the house they shared. He left her body in the circumstances where the children could find her body. they actually found her. So the prosecutor is hammering home these arguments here as aggravating factors, that the children were the ones who discovered the body after Julian Silvera left his wife in that condition. Take into account evidence that he took steps to conceal that he had shot and killed Melissa, is what the prosecutor is arguing before the court. Death was attributed by aneurysm. The status of the master bedroom, the room was retiled, painted, and furniture sprayed over, done in a short space of time after the death. No scenes of crime, no evidentiary material, no photos taken. The room was redone when the police went back to the scene. Silvera was...
Look on all of that, the evidence, the people. Look on all of that, the evidence, the people, they don't care that go a child. What kind of the DPP I need to resign? Anyhow, Silvera no get a proper sentence today. She will resign, my people. That's what need to happen in Jamaica. She need to resign.
Interviewed after the death, and he gave an account which was not an admission of guilt, says the prosecutor, when he indicated he took the decision based on his children. Yes, his children would have lost both parents, but the fact that he knew all along that he committed the crime. So the prosecutor is pressing home the argument, that the court needs to not be lenient in handing down this sentence to Julian Silvera. And that, of course, the reporting there coming to us as it's unfolding by our court reporter, Robian Williams. All right. Do we have any callers online studio? 876-630-9371 or 876-618-6730. I think we have Carl back with us. Carl, top of the morning to you. What say you?
Wicked man.
Carl?
Woman.
Carl?
All right.
Are you hearing us? Carl, we're hearing you have to turn the radio down in the background, Carl.
Yeah, morning, Tyrone.
Good morning, sir.
Tyrone, 55 years he must get.
And why do you feel that way?
20 years for gun, 20 years for murder, 5 years to be at the funeral crying like a baby and know what you have done. 5 years you did a mislead the court before you accept that a low plea you want, and with 5 again. And if next 5 years to leave the lady inside the house to die. 55 years.
And do you think, because there's this argument that he didn't waste the court's time?
No,
and also, do you consider, by not allowing the trial to go on, but wasted the court's time up until that point, because he, more than anybody else, knew that he had killed his wife? And so that, I think, is an argument being put forward by the prosecutor based on what is coming out. And then the guilty plea case, he recognized that the prosecution had in its possession a smoking gun. Some people may advance that, Sir Carl. So it's really not an admission of guilt coming out of remorse, some may argue. How do you respond to that?
Tyrone, after when good as people see say, well, if the case will go to trial, a lot of name would have to call. Them decide to go that way. Him decide to go that way.
Well, we are awaiting the live stream. We're not certain how much longer. Hopefully, the live stream will begin before we hit midday and have to break for the world at noon. But even then, we'll try to still take portions of it live to you. I gather that must be the working plan in the newsroom. But Sir Carl, I'll give you some closing thoughts before we have to go to our next break.
Yes, Tyro. 55 years, Tyro.
That's
not less.
And what would you view as being unduly lenient so as to shock the public conscience? What sentence do you think would be seen as unduly
illegal
lenient?
gun, I take off 5 after that. And he could have get life for murder. So we give him 20 years.
So what if he gets 15 years? Do you think that's unduly lenient?
No, Tyrone. No. It have to be something like 20 to 25 years for us to satisfy out here, Tyrone.
All right. Well,
Tyrone, you murder the person, Tyrone.
well, according to the plea that has been accepted by the court, he's guilty of manslaughter, not murder. So we have to ensure that we keep the language right.
Well, I'm murdering the charge for first.
Yes, but he pled guilty, and the court and the prosecution accepted the guilty plea to the lesser offense of manslaughter. So we have to say what it is that he's being sentenced for. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, 55 years, Tyrone.
Thank you, Mascarl. We appreciate the time and the thoughts. Do we have any more callers online? Billboard, are you with us?
Yes, man. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, Billboard. We are about a minute out from our next break. Can you hold a line for us, Billboard?
I certainly will.
All right, hold a line for us. This is a special edition of Cliff Hughes Online, as we hope to bring to you live from the Supreme Court the live stream of the sentencing of former Member of Parliament for Western St. Mary, Julian Silvera, who pled guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter in the killing of his wife, Melissa. We are waiting the live stream to begin. Of course, court is already in session. Arguments are being made. Witnesses gave character evidence. The defense counsel presented. The prosecution, we're being told, is on the floor. We are now being advised that there has been a break in proceedings in the court, Lady Nora. Is that what we're being told here? That there's a break in the proceedings? All right. So there's a break in proceedings. We're watching it for you. We're going to take you live to the Supreme Court to bring that feed for you. And so we're going to have to throw to a break. We have Billboard on the telephone lines. We're hearing the views of Jamaicans on what they think should happen concerning this sentence. And we'll take that live feed to you right as soon as it becomes available. So we'll take a break right here and come back with more.
People, I feel like them are tired with we, you know. Why they never show the whole thing? They should have show we the whole thing. Why a reason why we can't hear? See? Why a reason we can't hear everything we hash out in our place? So that should happen. Them should have show we the whole thing, people, because you know, when we put it outside look and it done gone bad already. So me I said they done cover it up and he done get way already because I get in get way. And he not get charged with the murder. I get in get way. And a murder and it be charged for. There's so much evidence to say. You know, there's so much evidence to say that look, this man did it. You know, and the DPP for some reason decided not to go after him. That is bullshit, my people. You know, bullshit. May I put in a link in the comment section, so if anybody want to join me on the platform, for reason it out, just click on the link and I will accept your invitation and you can come on and the program live with me. See, the whole thing smell funky, my people. You know, the whole thing smell funky. And we know that because certain people name the dog call. We know that they did have When I see me, my people tell me if you not see me, because I have to pump on the phone again to back up. And then I will go on with it. With this. The blur is bad sitting here. Me over there already in a lifestyle. Me over there wait, but two, me don't know how to get it up on the phone. Yeah. See? So me have to work with the Blurby G's laptop to get the link up. I don't know how to get the link up on the phone. Yeah. But I use the phone instead. Mm. All right, now see me. All right. Let me see if I can get up the link now. Stop sharing screen. I think we're back here now. You not hear me now? Tell me if you not hear me, because we're there on the countdown. You know? I can't see countdown, but I don't know what I see. See? There was two of me because I have to jump on the phone for try and so you know get it, get to come down. Because I can go live, I can do StreamYard on the phone, I can do StreamYard on the phone, but I can't do the link. I need to work out how to get the link up. So once I get when I come off later, I work out how to do it on the phone. So I don't have to use a laptop. I'll play around with it later on and see how best I can sort out the Okay, you not see me that good. Hopefully they sit me and a chip out back. Because I don't know why it's chip out. I don't have a clue. we never start the betting, you see. How way more get, but me I say 15 here. If you can get anything over that, good. If you can get anything under that, bad. Wanna say, wanna talk to me in the comment section. Tell me again, wanna say. Me no see what that show me earlier. Some say 40 here, some say 20, 25. Me I say 15 same way. You know, I believe that the lawyer and judge them a friend, and them are gonna do each other a favor. Cause at this point in time, we have to believe anything because this a big old cook up here, but we see. We have to believe anything at this stage, my people. You know. So they make it count down so long. Sylvan said 25, Karin said 35. Me still say 15. You know, I believe, you know, then we give him 18 and discount some time we serve already. You know, and it will go down to 15. That is what I believe. But we see what I got. You know, under 30 years is total disgrace. Totally a disgrace. Okay, when I see court dog, that is good. We back there. You know, let's learn how to use it on the phone, and that will make a great difference because enough time when we play the audio, I really want to show no visual, but you know, I don't know how to work it on the phone yet. So because I don't know how to work it on the phone, that is why when I get audio most time, because I have to use the phone. So when the time comes when I can use the phone to get up and the video them on StreamYard, then I will show you guys the audio and show you how we research things and we'll get it from how we find it. How to find it as well. You know. Me cheap out Now hear me? Countdown is almost there, my people. This thing I just a mess about. I don't know how I go with it. The worst thing ever to bombard us. Of course, the case should have gone a trial, Dennis. There's no way this a case I never forgot a trial, brother. It's a case I didn't forget a trial. That's why I have to love on you know, because I watch you know, still there with me and then me I broke down. Everybody has run gone. You know? So what am I say to you? I know you hear, sir. You know I hear and I see me, right? Of course, Philly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. But we see what I got here now. You know, I remember so then if you press live, my people. I go back a nationwide for now, cause no, I'm not hear nothing. I go back over nationwide, cause we don't know how I go.
Owned by Julian Silveira, and eventually, as the case was about to begin, decided to plead guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter. And that was accepted by the Director of Public Prosecution's office, and of course by the courts, which took us today, March 6th. It's 11:51 a.m. on March 6th. The proceedings, I gather, was set to get underway at 10 a.m. We've, according to our reporter, here we go. It does seem the live stream, it's going live. Do we have audio studio? We don't have the audio yet, but the page is live, the Judiciary of Jamaica, where the live stream will be coming from, and it says, "Will begin shortly. Please stand by." So we're standing by to join live the channel on YouTube, the Judiciary of Jamaica's channel on YouTube, and we'll bring for you the sentencing live. We are supposed to break at the top of the hour for the world at noon, but because of this occasion, we want to bring to you live the sentencing. We will take the news at a delayed time. After we've wrapped up here, then we'll throw to the newscast. But we'll have the newscast for you. It might not come at midday, but we're going to stick and stay with our coverage right here of this sentencing hearing involving former Member of Parliament Julian Silveira. Many Jamaicans are waiting to hear whether or not justice will be done in this case after all, because many are questioning controversial decisions in their mind that they believe have been taken in this situation leading up to the sentencing of the former Member of Parliament. Not every day, listeners, viewers, you see a Member of Parliament or a former Member of Parliament before the court on such a serious charge, yeah? And lots of Jamaicans are of the view that what happens in this sentencing hearing today will be a verdict on the quality of the justice being dispensed here in the country. For many Jamaicans, a lot is riding on the sentence that will be handed down by the Chief Justice. He's heard arguments. He's to now tell us what he has decided, and we are awaiting that for you to bring to you live. Yeah.
No, guys, if a channel chip out again, just watch it on the Judiciary channel. Me, I'll go watch it myself and we talk about it after. So just in case the channel go down again.
Folks at Marigold on our YouTube channel is saying this is a landmark ruling. Is what I think it's Nadine who is saying that. No, that's Marigold who is saying that this verdict will be a landmark one. Lots to be said. We'll try to have the verdict dissected for you in our later programs coming up in Nationwide at 5. And of course, God willing, I'll join you then in the major flagship program Nationwide at 5. We'll cover it in the news, and then the discussion segments will undoubtedly be about dissecting the sentence that was delivered by the country's Chief Justice. So we're standing by to go live to the Judiciary of Jamaica's YouTube channel, where they'll be live streaming the sentencing of former Member of Parliament Julian Silveira. Lots of chatter going on our YouTube channel. If you're not over there, please join the thousands of people who've gathered over there on our YouTube channel discussing this very, very crucial matter. This is a matter of justice and how justice is viewed in this country. Lots riding on this. Let me read to you just a couple portions of the sentencing guidelines that we had lined up for you. Section 10.12 says, in determining the percentage by which the audio is up, we're going live to join the Chief Justice Brian Sykes right now.
Big things.
In the matter of the King against Julian Silveira, the Chief Justice is standing by and is about to begin his address to the courtroom. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We are going to begin now.
Okay, these are the sentencing remarks in the matter of the King against Julian Silveira, charged on an indictment containing 2 counts. Count 1 charges him with the offense of using a firearm to commit a felony, contrary to Section 14.2 or Section 14 subsection 2 of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction, and Regulation Act. The particulars of that offense are that Julian Silveira, between the night of November 10, 2023, and the morning of November 11, 2023, in the parish of St. Andrew, used a firearm to commit a felony. Initially, the felony was murder. It was changed to manslaughter, and he pleaded guilty to that offense. Count 2, charge him with the offense of murder. particulars of that offense are that Julian Silveira, between the night of November 10, 2023, and the morning of November 11, 2023, in the parish of St. Andrew, murdered Melissa Silveira. To that count, he entered a plea of not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter. The plea was accepted by the prosecution and accepted by the court. This plea was entered on February 3, 2026. And on that date, a statement from the defendant was read into the record. And it states, I, Julian Silveira, made this statement to say that on the night of November 10th, 2023, a very unfortunate incident occurred, resulting in the death of my wife, Melissa Walter Silveira. Leading up to that event, there has been provocation from her ever since the death of my son, for which she continues to blame me. As per usual, to avoid confrontation, these confrontations vary from financial to taking responsibility for the conditions that we were living in, and she has a time where she explodes no matter when and where. She became very physical that particular night. These are ongoing things. So at times, when I see that this is going to blow out of proportion, I normally take refuge, thank you, at my sister's house to allow her temper to quell. On this particular night, the rhetoric began. She became more confrontational than normal, screaming, shouting, and even at times swinging her fist. So I decided that it was time to leave. So I reached for my gun, where it is normally kept, to holster it, and told her that I would be back tomorrow. She became increasingly angered and enraged, and lunged after me and grabbed at the gun, and then uttered the words to the effect that I was responsible for the child, and made derogatory comments about my mother and the family. Although she had mentioned blaming me for the death of my son before that night, the way she said it and how, and the mention of my mom and my other family, her words and expletives that night really angered me in the moment. Melissa told me I must stop fucking my sister, because every night I'm always going to my sister's house, and a sister can't do what a wife can do. She said that my mother was a selfish fucking bitch, and maybe I should go and fuck her too. These words provoked me, and her final comments were to fling the rest of the picnic them into the pool and kill them too. With all of these words, I lost control and fired. It was never my intention to do this. It was not premeditated, and it was not my intention to hurt or kill her that night. This having happened, I panicked and I left. Over the course of the next few days, I thought about my children losing two parents and thought it best not to admit because I wanted to be there for them. And importantly, this statement, which I read over, consisting of what? One page signed by me, Julian Silvera, is made of my own account. And it went on to indicate that it bore his signature and date and a witness who was not connected to the matter. So what we have then is a written statement in which he outlined in some detail the circumstances that unfolded on that unfortunate evening. Now let us go now to what the prosecution outlined to the court. And then we'll have some observations about that, and then put this in context of the law relating to homicide. Prosecution's narrative is this. Sometime after 10:30 p.m. on the 10th of November 2023, Mr. Silvera told his wife and children that he was leaving and that he will return the following day. His wife told him that he could not leave, and an argument ensued. According to the children, the adults swore at each other, and then he left. Sometime before 6 a.m. on the morning of the 11th of November 2023, one of the children, and the name is there but I'm not calling the name, went into his parents' room. He discovered his mother's lifeless body on the floor next to her bed. He observed that blood was coming through, to quote, her butt, mouth, and nose. He ran from the bedroom and alerted his other brother, who accompanied him back to the parents' room. They indicated they both checked for signs of life. They then decided to make contact with their father and were eventually successful. The prosecution next referred to a witness statement provided by Mr. Silvera. This is a statement that was provided before he became a suspect. In that statement, he indicated that upon speaking to his children, he contacted the Stony Hill police station and told them that he was on his way home when he got a call from his son indicating that his mother's lifeless body was there and that he needed assistance. Upon arrival at the house at 28 Diamond Road, Stony Hill in the parish of St. Andrew, Mr. Silvera went into his bedroom, saw his wife sitting in a position with her head leaning forward at the side of the bed. According to witnesses, that is the children who were there, he touched her, spoke to her, and found that she was not responding. So up to that point, based upon this, you had the body, the children, then Mr. Silvera arriving, then you had Mr. Silvera, the body, and the children. Short while after, a first responder from the Jamaica Constabulary Force arrived, that is a sergeant from the Stony Hill Police Station. He went into the bedroom along with Mr. Silvera, where he, the police officer, saw the body of the deceased. The police officer described the body as being on her knees in a crouching position with her face lying on the floor. The police officer then took a photograph of the body, and whilst he did so, he says Mr. Silvera cried out. He told Mr. Silvera to cover the nude section of his wife's body. The police officer did not carry out any further examination of the body. The officer indicates that he did not, that Mr. Silvera advised him that the deceased had no known medical condition, and the police officer seems to be indicating that a post-mortem examination would be conducted to determine the cause of death. The House of Tranquility Funeral Home was contacted for the removal of the deceased body. Not clear from the narrative who did the contacting, but nonetheless, that was a contact that was made. The police officer says he then indicated that he told Mr. Silvera, do not do anything to the bedroom pending the post-mortem examination, as the cause of death was undetermined. Mrs. Silvera's body was removed and taken to the House of Tranquility Funeral Home. A post-mortem examination was scheduled for the 1st of December 2023. The pathologist who arrived to do the post-mortem examination observed marks on the body. As a result of her observation, the body was sealed and the detectives were called to assist in the investigation. So, on the 15th of December 2023, the same pathologist conducted post-mortem examination on the body of Mrs. Silvera. The pathologist noted that there were 3 gunshot wounds, 1 perforated thigh, 1 penetrating gunshot wound to the left side of the lower abdomen, and the third that is described as a superficial penetrating gunshot wound to the right side of the lower abdomen. The pathologist found that the immediate cause of death was due to multiple gunshot wounds. This removed 2 projectiles from the body of Mrs. Silvera.